Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning, and we are here live 5 days a week at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. But because it's YouTube, you can tune in whenever you would like. And here we talk about all things mindset because the magic happens in the 6 inches between your ears. And when you understand how to navigate your brain, when you understand that you have a choice in everything, then your world becomes limitless and you're able to keep yourself out of fear, frustration, anger, resentment, anxiety, all of the things that are holding us down. When you know how to utilize your mind, you are able to keep yourself from going into these states of suffering, and you're able to have peace and clarity and flow. And just like the Holy Trinity of health, mind, body, soul, yeah, we take care of our body. We know this. Our soul, of course. What are we doing for our mind? So that's what Mindset in the Morning is all about, because we need to be exercising our mental muscle every single day. So it is Monday morning and it is November 1st, which is shocking to me because 2020 was a bit of a nobody really knows what happened there. And I don't know. I just thought that this year would feel like it took a little bit longer. And yet I'm blinking and time is just absolutely flying. Like I have my heater out. I have my heater on right now. So it's that. I can't believe we're already in that weather. I'm in Texas. So you may have had your heater on for many months. But anyway, I'm in Texas and mine just turned on. So that being said, we had Halloween this past weekend and it was a lot of fun. And I decided to pony up and go out, even though last week was a little bit of a weird week for me. There was a lot of just thinking and getting quiet and seeing how the pieces move together. So there was some of that. And sometimes, when you're it just took me some effort to want to go out in public. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. My girls are going out. I'm going to go out with them. So I did. And I don't really ever buy a costume. I have several wigs that I've had forever and I love them. I love dressing up. And I mean, to be honest, I would do this more often. I don't know why I don't. I don't really think about it. I kind of just associate it when I go out. And so Halloween's fun because I usually get the opportunity at least a few times during the month of October to put on a wig. So I put on my wig. I put on some random outfit that I had. I think I bought it for a modeling photo shoot. It was like a $23 Amazon purchase. And I put some shoes on and I went out as radiant, confident, self-love, me. And I just went out and I had a good time. And I've realized, and of course I had 4-inch heels, which is not unusual for me, which is actually a strategic move because I am 6'1" and I like wearing heels. I don't think there should be any reason that I stop wearing heels or not wear heels because I'm tall. I think that's stupid. I think I should be just like everybody else, that I should be treated just the same as everybody else. And if I like heels because they make me feel sexy, then I should wear heels. So I go out in my 4-inch heels, very normal. And for whatever reason, I think people maybe that don't normally get out in public, that they were out in public. And so I started getting a lot of questions. And look, I don't mind. I don't mind because I've got a lot of self-love and their comments, these stupid comments, used to bother me once upon a time. And I took them negatively. And now I'm like, that's fine. Actually, it's a reflection on you and maybe your insecurities or whatever, something on you. This isn't on me. I just showed up to the party. If you've got things to say, that's on you. But, and here's where we're going to go with today. There are a lot of people that are out there that aren't Jen Sugarmeyer. I'm going to be taller than I already am, and putting themselves out there. So today we're going to talk about diversity inclusion and how it's not just what sex you are, what race you are, what your sexual preferences are. But we're also going to talk about size, because this is something that really needs to be addressed in this society because clearly it is not. I would never walk up to a Black person and be like, "You're really dark. Let's talk about it." I don't think anybody in society would do that. I wouldn't walk up to a white person and be like, "Oh, you're a little pale." Like, we've moved past that as a society. Now, there may be a few people that are still out there, but we don't do that. And we know that, we don't walk up to women and say, you should really be at home cleaning and doing the dishes and taking care of the kids. If you want a job, you could go be a nurse or a secretary, one of the two. Like, we don't say that because we know women can do anything. We don't walk up to a Black woman and say, "Well, you clearly can't be doing this." Like, these are not conversations we have anymore because we've moved past them. And yet, for whatever reason, people feel the need to walk up to me and say, "How's the air up there?" Like, that's a stupid question. Stupid question. Next. Who else? Who has an intelligent conversation in the house or question? People ask me, "Oh, wow, that must be really hard for you to find a guy. Wow, wow, why are you wearing heels? Wow, do you think you should be wearing heels? Wow, you make me feel short." Like, and I just heard it over and over and over. And I'm just sitting there just, okay, okay, okay. And the girls I was with, boy, they were ready to rumble. And I'm like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. This is what makes me stand out. You know why I like being tall? I will tell you exactly why. There are some people that have to do something to stand out in order to differentiate their business, in order to differentiate them from the dating pool, in order to differentiate themselves in whatever they're trying to do. They have to do something. You know what I do? I show up. I show up and you see me. I don't have to do anything. It's like the laziest way to stand out. I just show up. I don't have to do anything. So I love it. I love everything about it. But people, we need to be more aware of how people take things. I joined these tall groups recently, and I'm seeing the comments that these women are saying, and I remember when I was that way. I remember feeling like, oh, I will never find any. I'm too wide. I feel like a monster. I feel like an ogre. People treat me poorly. I don't fit in. All of the things that I'm hearing these women today talk about. These aren't things from the past. Oh, women can't vote, and women are at home with the kids. And no, we've moved past that as a society. There's a lot of things that we've moved past. But what we've not talked about is size. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. We talk about, people that are obese and whatnot. I mean, we've got a little bit of that we've started to touch into. We shouldn't be making fun of people because of, their weight. But have we truly talked about height? And for whatever reason, and I know this to be fact because I deal with it all the time, is that because I'm tall, people think that they have this pass to ask me whatever the heck, whatever they want. And again, I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. In fact, I think for some people, that's how they start a conversation because they don't know what else to say. So they approach me and they ask me something stupid. And then they're like, "Oh, that was the easy way to start the conversation." And I'm like, "You could do better next time. Use this a little harder before you ask me something stupid that to be your," because then I'm just like, you're kind of smart, kind of stupid. Like, is this somebody I want to have a conversation with? Like, if that's how you start out a conversation, like, what does it get better from here? Or does it go downhill? Like, did you start at the top or start at the bottom? like I'm wondering all kinds of things, but I get it. People are inquisitive. They are. But we as a society need to do better in putting ourselves in the shoes of other people and asking ourselves, is this a question that I would want asked of me? Let's start thinking before we speak. Have you heard this before? Think before you speak. I think we've gotten away from that as a society. And I think in part, some of it's because We have the internet. And like, I've been on dating sites before, and the things that people say, I'm like, you would never say that face to face. But because you're on social media, you feel like you can say anything you want. It's like a barrier. So I think in some respects, maybe people have forgotten how to, or they've never developed because they're kids and they've never had like real human interaction without social media, that maybe they just don't know. So we just need to educate ourselves, because when you know better, you can do better. And that's what the show is all about. When you know better, you can do better. So there's a saying, and that's judge not, lest you be judged. So in part, and I've been thinking through this in a very nice way, when people ask me about my height and these questions, oh, do you play basketball? Oh, I may start asking them questions back, because I just take this and say, and I walk away, because I'm not confrontational, and I this isn't something that's that important to me that I need to get all worked up about. So I'm just like, yeah, don't play basketball, 6'1". Yeah, I wouldn't date you anyways. It's fine. No big deal. You're not my type. So like, that's fine. Like literally this guy walked up to me. I walked into a place and he starts measuring himself against me. Okay. The guy is 6'3" and I was like 6'5" in my heels. And he's like, I don't know. Is it just me? I would never walk up to a midget, get on my knees and be like, oh, now we're almost the same. That to me just seems so rude. It seems so rude. But for whatever reason, people think because I'm tall that that's appropriate. I'm here to tell you, not appropriate. Not appropriate. If we are going to be inclusive in this world, then we need to start thinking about more people than just what sex you are, what race you are, and what sexual orientation you have. We have to do better as a society, because the truth is, there is a lot of shame. There's a lot of embarrassment. There's a lot of people that have low self-esteem because of people that are acting stupid and measuring themselves against these perfectly beautiful human beings, regardless of their size. That is a stupid behavior. Like some random stranger walking up to me. Do I look like I have? That's what I should, maybe that's what I should have been for Halloween. Maybe that's what I'll do next year. I'll just be a big old measuring tape. But I have a different way of feeling about this than some other people do, but I see it. I see it every single day in these Facebook groups, that it hurts people. There are tears. People feel ashamed of the body that they have. So when you walk up to somebody, think before you speak. Think before you do something stupid and start comparing yourself to somebody. Then this guy looks at me and he's like, oh yeah, well, that's not going to work. What's not going to work? I'm going to tell you why this isn't going to work. Because you're not my type. You're not my type. Congratulations. That's great. If you think this isn't going to work for you because I'm too tall for you, I'm going to tell you why this isn't going to work, period. You're not my type. Done. I have a say in this too. So you aren't controlling all the things, all the pieces. So you can, bye-bye, move on. That's how that conversation went. It was like, no, it's not going to work. And I was like, and all his buddies were like, oh, dude, you're an idiot. So, okay. I went out as confident, self-love, radiant, and I didn't say anything to this guy, but I might consider just putting in a little few things here and there. That's fine. I want us to think about, I know this is a little different than what we normally talk about, but diversity inclusion includes size. Does size matter? I don't know. You tell me. There are facts of height. I am taller than some. not taller than all. And there are preferences. Maybe I don't want to date a shorter person. Maybe you don't want to date a shorter person or a taller person. They're preferences. But the way we treat each other needs to be like brothers and sisters. Last week, we talked about how all people matter, even the people that suck. How do we deal with the people that suck? How do we deal with the people that are bullies? We talked about how to deal with these people. So as we are becoming one as a human race and learning about each other and understanding and accepting, I'm standing up for the people of size, whatever size that is outside of the bell curve. And I want you to ask yourself these two questions. Does this benefit me? When you are going up to somebody and you are going to ask them a question, say, does this benefit me? So, for example, if you see a tall person and you say, oh, do you play basketball? I want you to ask yourself, what am I going to do with that fun fact once I know? I mean, if you're a basketball recruiter, legit question. If you're just asking because you got to know, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. What are you going to do with that knowledge once you have it? Does it benefit you to have that little trivia fact, which, by the way, it's never going to make it into a little trivia game. There is no Jen Sugarmeyer. Well, maybe one day if when my business blows up, maybe I'll be in a trivia game somewhere and they'll be like, how tall is she? I don't know. But does she play basketball? But literally, these are not trivia game questions, okay? These are humans that you're talking to. So ask yourself, what am I going to do with this information? Does it benefit me to know? Does it benefit me to say that, oh, well, why are you wearing heels? What are you now going to do with this information? So think before you speak. Does it benefit me to ask that question or to say that thing? I want you to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And maybe they are much bigger than you, bigger than yours. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and say, would I want somebody to just approach me and ask me this every single day? Because the questions that you ask, so does everybody else. So it's not, oh, you're so clever. Ooh, you asked me how if I play basketball. Never heard that one before. Oh, I never got asked how tall I am. I never got asked how the air is up here. Never got asked why I wear heels. Like, you're just repeating the same things. And I'm looking at you going, wow, the human race really needs some work. The other thing is it shows massive insecurities for a lot of things that people are saying. So when you walk up to me and say, wow, you make me feel small, I'm like, wow, you have an insecurity problem. That's on you. So you just showed your cards. Like, we were playing poker and you were like, here are my cards. They're called insecure. So y'all think through these things. We are dealing with human beings. Diversity inclusion includes people of all sizes, and we need to do better. So as you come across some of these outliers, women that are above or shorter than 5'4", men that are taller or shorter than, I don't know what the average is, 5'9", 5'10", whatever it is, think before you speak. Ask yourself those questions. What am I going to do with this information? Does it benefit me? Would I want to be asked these questions? Ask yourself these. We want to raise how we treat people. We want to raise the bar. And I'm still seeing where there is a massive gap with tall people. And I'm going to assume with short people as well. I can't talk to it, but I don't know. But I can tell you with tall people. So let's not ask the stupid questions. Let's not ask questions that you wouldn't ask anybody else. Treat them like you would treat anybody else. What if your sister was tall? Is that how you would want her to be treated? And however you would want her to be treated, that's how you should act. So, with that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That's how we get this message out there and we can help impact more people, more lives. This is us elevating our lives. And we're also making a massive impact on the world because when you know better, you can do better. You may not have ever thought about the questions you were asking other people, and now you will. And you'll know that there are people that are suffering because they haven't been able to find their self-esteem. And when you ask them these questions, that only tears them down more. You can be part of the solution. So go spread the word, hit that like, hit that subscribe.